Hi guys, Sunny here. Today I'm gonna have a special gift for you. This is my own recipe on meatballs. You're gonna love it. Hey guys, ready to make meatballs? There's two parts for making meatballs. One is the sauce and the other is the actual meatballs. We'll start with the sauce. Dice a half an onion to small little pieces. Cover the bottom of a pot with about a quarter of a cup of oil and add the onion to it. Let it simmer for a little bit before we add the garlic. Mix it and let it simmer for a few minutes. Let's add a few spices. 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Mix it up a little bit, open the spices, and let's add some salt. 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Mix it up a little more before we add the rest of the ingredients. Beautiful. This is going to be one tasty sauce. Mix up all the ingredients and the sauce really well. Turn the heat down to medium low. Cover it up and let it do its thing as we get ready to make the meatballs. To make those meatballs, you need a food processor. I always like to cut the vegetables smaller just to help the food processor do its thing. Those are healthier meatballs. We're going to put a lot of vegetables inside. You take the potatoes into small cubes, again, to help the food processor make it into almost a puree, maybe a fine shredded. Add the garlic to it. And now we're going to put the cilantro. I'll cut the cilantro a little smaller and just to make it more finer inside. We put a bunch of parsley to it. Look how many vegetables and herb go into these meatballs. They're going to be nice and soft. You're going to love them. Cover it up and let it do its thing for a few minutes. Add a little bit of water to kind of get it started. I would say 3 to 4 minutes. You want it nice and fine, just like you see in the video. Use about 1 pound of lean ground beef. I like to chop it up a little bit and let's add to it the spices. Now that we added all the spices, we'll add into it the pureed vegetables that we prepared. I like to use gloves when I start sticking my hands into the meat and mixing it up. I use one hand clean to hold the bowl, and just with one hand I'll mix it up. I'm not gonna stick both hands into the meat. You gotta mix it really well to marry all those spices together. Beautiful. Let's form the meatballs and add them to the sauce. Notice that the sauce is a little bubbly. It has to be a little bubbly, otherwise the meatballs will get stuck together. Make them all approximately the same size so they cook evenly throughout. I will damp my hands with some water and make them nice and smooth. Make them really smooth and don't put them on top of each other. Make sure that when you put them inside, put them next to each other. You don't want them to get stuck. When you finish making all the meatballs, cover it up, turn it down, and let it start cooking for about half an hour. After a few minutes, come back to the pot and look at the sauce. It has to bubble just a little bit, not too much and not too little. If it's bubbling too much, turn it down. If it's not bubbling at all, turn it a little bit up. Add the peas to the meatballs. Let it cook for about 15 more minutes. I would stir it a little bit gently just to mix the peas all around. And in about 15 or 20 minutes, we'll have dinner ready. On a bed of rice, you'll serve those meatballs. If you like my videos, my recipes, don't forget to subscribe, share, and make a comment. I would love to hear from you. Enjoy!